Hello, welcome back along to my channel. It's Sunshine Lorena, and yes, it's been a while since I have sat down and filmed a video, but I'm bringing you my April wrap up. So guys, I took a very unintentional break from BookTube. I was not planning to have a break and not post in like 2 months or so, and that last video I posted, I was like, I'm back guys, I know I haven't posted in a little bit. I'm gonna be like posting, and then I didn't. Few reasons. I think in my last one that I mentioned, that I was really busy. I'm gonna be busy in March. I also then got sick. I had laryngitis, like I just wasn't in the mood to be filming during like that, and also my reading was very like iffy, guys. I did film like, it would have been my February wrap up, and I just didn't edit it, or finish editing I should say, because I did start, but then I was unwell and I just wasn't in the mood, guys, and it's just been a very unintentional break from BookTube. But I am back, and I'm actually being honest this time, I do mean that I am back. I am going to be giving you my April wrap up. I haven't posted a wrap up this entire year, but we're just going to focus on the books I read in April, because otherwise this video would be way far too long. I will do like a mid-year kind of look back or like something. I need to think about it exactly so that you will get a little bit of a catch up and feel of what I've actually been reading. But yes, I am back. I'm going to be posting at least once a week is the plan for the moment. I have my exam and essays due for the qualification that I'm doing in June, so from July it should be a little bit more creative around here. I'll be able to have a lot more free time to kind of feel a lot more creative with videos, etc. But I will be posting again, guys. So April, these books that I'm going to be wrapping up, a lot of them was on my March TBR that I did, guys, because you remember I said like, I chose like, I had like a whole bunch of like arcs and stuff that I had to get done, and I did not get those done all in March, as you're about to see with the books that I'm wrapping up with here. But I'm almost back on track with my reading now, and I feel a bit better with my reading now. So guys, let's just get back into it. The first book that I finished in April was A Thorn on My Side, which is number 4 in the Sweet Pea series by C.J. Scoose. This is like I said, the 4th book. There is going to be one more in the series, and I'm going to stick around for that. So I did read book 3 in March, I want to say, and I finally got around to book 4. I'm just continuing on the series because I want to see where Rhiannon kind of ends up in her life. I don't want to give you a synopsis of this one because, like, sequel spoilers. I have been enjoying the series so far. I've never went back and reread them, but I did see someone who did, and when they reread the first one, they're like, I don't like this as much as I used to, so I feel like I'm never going to reread these, but I really thoroughly enjoy them. So just to give you a brief synopsis from like book 1, so you kind of get the vibes of what's going on here. Like I said, we are following Rhiannon. The synopsis of the first one was like, the last person that ended up calling me Sweet Pea ended up dead. So she has like just this normal kind of job, and she has all these friends. She listens to all their stories about like boyfriends, husbands, babies, etc. But she's actually constantly making a kill list in her head. So quite often the chapters will open up with her like a kill list. It could be somebody from the checkout Lidl to the person who like walked past her in the street or like whatever. But she has like these thoughts, and a lot of the time they're things that like as everyday, like as normal people, you get annoyed by a certain thing that happens in your day, except she puts it on a kill list, guys. So yes, she seems like your very average girl next door. She has her boyfriend, she has her dog, they have really nice little lives, but she has a killer secret. She had like some stuff that happened in her childhood as well, which you find out throughout the series in book 1. And so her childhood was haunted by this like famous crime that happened, and it's kind of shaped her life since. Yes, she looks like a very average girl. No one would suspect her, but she is the type of person that might just be able to get away with murder, guys. So that's kind of the brief synopsis. You need to read it and see, but I really enjoy it. There's dark humor in it. It is funny. I did like book 4, like I said, going back to Rhiannon and how her life has evolved over the 4 books. So that's why I'm kind of not going to be like telling you exactly what happens, but just seeing her different situation, and I can't say much because I will ruin it for you guys, but I gave it 4 stars. I did really enjoy it, and I can't wait for the 5th and final book to come out. The next one then that I finished in April was Work-Life Balance, Malevolent Managers and Folkloric Freelancers, and this is by Benjamin Chi and Wayne Ree. Now, I read this part as a Tandem Global read-along. It was the third book that they were reading from Singapore. Like, they had 3, which I read Dearest Intimate, which if I had actually edited my March wrap-up, you would have seen that there. I did enjoy that, and I've just lost a bookmark. I did enjoy that one. It was 4 stars. And this one I also gave as a 4 stars. But the really interesting thing is about this book is that it's a mixture between like comic graphic novel and prose as well. So you kind of, it's great. You get like the story of the, like, you know, written in the prose, and you get to see it come alive as well in the comic elements of it. So it's really interesting. Yes, so as you might guess, it's got to do with like work. It's a very interesting concept, this one. So when a menacing multinational arrives on our shores, familiar creatures like Pontiacs, Managals, Rakasais and Bajau geese are forced out of their jobs. Some give in and sign up for mundane corporate life, but others would rather fight than join the broken-spirited hordes of the desk-bound. So yes, it is like a different spin on like the corporate, you know, life. But I really enjoyed this. Like I said, it was such an interesting concept between having the comics and the prose and this kind of like hybrid book, and I really enjoyed it. Do recommend picking it up if you can, and it's a really quick read as well, because like half of it is on comics, so you can fly through it. You feel accomplished. But yes, I really did enjoy this, and yeah, thank you Tandem for having me along on the read along. Then the next one that I finished reading was Dark Star Burning, Ash Falls White by Emily Wen Zhao, and this is the second book in the duology, so it's the final one of the Song of the Last Kingdom. So I read the first one last year. It came out around about February last year, I want to say. I read the arc. This was the arc that I should have read by March, and I didn't, guys. Well, one of them. And yes, so I'm not going to give you the synopsis obviously of the duology, because then I'll be giving bits and pieces away from the first one. So I will give you kind of an overview of what the first book is about. Love a duology because, you know, you get to the end of like the series quite quickly rather than like having 4 or 5 books. So again, makes me feel accomplished. Love the cover. I think it's stunning. And yes, really enjoyed this one. So the first book is Song of Silver Flame Like Night, and this is in a fallen kingdom, and one girl carries the key to discovering the secrets of her nation's past and unleashing the demons that sleep at its heart. An epic. So it is a fantasy that is inspired by Chinese mythology. Once Lan had a different name, now she goes by one of the Lanshan coloners gave her when they invaded her kingdom, killed her mother and outlawed her people's magic. She spends her nights as a song girl in Hak Gong, a city transformed by the conquerors, and spends her days scavenging for remnants of the past, for anything that might help her understand the strange mark burned into her arm by her mother in her last act before she died. No one can see the mysterious mark and untransferable Hin character except Lan, until the night a boy appears at the tea house and saves her life. Zen is a practitioner, one of the fabled magicians of the Last Kingdom, whose abilities were rumoured to be drawn from the demons they communed with. Magic believed to be long lost, magic to be hidden from the Lanshans at all costs. Both Lan and Zen have secrets buried deep within. Fate has connected them, but their destiny remains unwritten. Both hold the power to liberate their land, and both hold the power to destroy the world. A ferocious tale of romance and fate, Song of Silver Flame Like Night is a gift to those seeking adventure with a mythological twist. And yes, the second book picks up where the first one left off, so we get to see again what the conclusion of what's going on between Lan and Zen and the kingdom and everything that's going on. I really enjoyed this. I gave this like 4.5 stars. The first one was a 5-star for me. I really enjoyed it. The world building. I enjoyed dropping back into that world again. And like I said, always feel accomplished when I finish the duology, so that was fantastic. Then I picked up the audiobook for Life, the Universe and Everything, which is the number 3 in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy number 3 book, and it's by Douglas Adams. So this is science fiction, which if you have been around on my channel for a little while, I have mentioned a few times that science fiction books, not films, but books tend to not really be my thing. Like I never liked them as much. With the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, number 1, really enjoyed it, 2 less so, and then this one I gave it 3 stars. And it's continuing along with the series. I probably will keep listening along to it because I do enjoy it, but like the first one, the funniness of it was just great, you know? And in the first one, it was, you know, them trying to find like the answer to like the question and find out what the question is. And it was on Earth, and Arthur Dent was like our human, and just how that whole thing came about and like the ending of the world. Really enjoyed it. And like I said, each one I've liked it a little bit less. So this is just continue on in that universe of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I find a little bit more about what's kind of the setup of that, things that happened in the past as well. In this one we find out, and I know this is all very vague, but I'm trying to give you like a decent overview. So yes, like I said, liking it a little bit less and less with each one. I am definitely going to give number 4 a go and see, but then if I feel like it is like dropping, I might just like kind of give up at that point. I might then just like kind of give up on it if I'm not going to really enjoy the 4th one. But there are, I was checking, so there is a 0.5, so like a prequel one, which I didn't know there was, and then there is actually, there's 6, but then I see a 5.5 as well. So yeah, there's a lot, guys, and I don't know if I'll get to the end of it, is my point. But yeah, it was an audiobook. It was really quick, it's really short, it's like 5 hours 45 minutes, plus I listened to it faster, so like it's a really good quick read, these ones. And yeah, that's it. The next one, which was one of the arcs again that I should have had read in March because the book came out in March, was How to Kill a Guy in 10 Ways by Evie Kellerman. And guys, I absolutely loved this, okay? Loved it. Also, I liked the fact that it was set in Bristol, it's a city that I know well, so it's kind of nice to see those bits and pieces, you know, when a book is set somewhere that you actually know what it's like, you know. So that was an extra added bonus fun. This, I believe, is the author's first book, and I really hope that she keeps writing more, guys, because this was perfect. Perfect, guys. Honestly, loved it. I've been seeing a little bit of it. More people need to pick this up. I feel like it gives a little bit of Sweet Pea vibes, which, now that I think about it, Sweet Pea, in the beginning, I'm pretty sure Rhiannon has a job in Bristol. I'm pretty sure. So that's not what's giving the Sweet Pea vibes. It's actually how the book is like written, and like there's those like kind of comedic moments, but also like the vibes of it, you know? So in this, are you on a date that doesn't feel right? Can't shake that creepy guy at the bar? Worried you're being followed home? After one too many terrifying encounters, Millie Master sets up a hotline for women who feel unsafe walking home alone at night. Message in. But very quickly she realises that there's much more to be done to help the women who call in, because the men just do it again the next night, and then the next, and then the next. And when our own sister is assaulted on a night out, the temptation to take the law into her own hands becomes too much to resist, because M can also stand for murder. It is dark, this book. It is funny. It is just, yeah, it gave me a little bit of those Sweet Pea vibes. Highly recommend it. Kind of amateur like murder books. It's a vibe, and I really enjoyed it. And I just hope the author writes more books because I really enjoyed the style of this. It comes highly recommended from me. So yeah, if you like kind of murder books but with humour thrown in, this is definitely one of the other ones that you should pick up. And then the next one, which also was an arc that I should have read in March, but I did not, guys, is Black Wolf, and this is number 2 in the Antonia Scott series. Like The Red Queen was the first book, and it's by Juan Gomez Jurado. And yeah, so this, like I said, is the second one. It's only just, these are now being translated to English, but they're originally written in Spanish, and they have been translated into other languages as well, and internationally it's actually really popular. However, in our English speaking world, I actually haven't heard people really speaking about these books as much. They are like thrillers, but like police type thrillers, like crime thriller vibes. Antonia Scott is one of our main characters, along with John as well. He is like the kind of a previous police detective, I think was his role. But yes, I'll give you a little bit of a brief synopsis of this one. Obviously this is the second one continuing on. I do recommend obviously reading them in order because you kind of get like their background stories, because like it's kind of like, I really enjoy also it's one of those ones where that you can pick it up and you're not going to be impacted reading that one or the case, you know, but you're not going to really get to know our characters, our detectives in this case type characters, that what their backstory is. You won't get to know them as well. So Antonia Scott has unusually gifted mind, able to see what others miss, able to solve the crimes that baffle all others. The only thing she fears is herself. Antonia is the linchpin of the Red Queen project, created to work behind the scenes to solve the most devious and dangerous crimes. But she's unwilling to move past the last case, convinced it's related to a personal tragedy, until a series of deadly events pulls her back in. In southern Spain, in the Costa del Sol, a key mafia figure is found brutally murdered in his villa. His pregnant wife, Lola Moreno, barely escapes an attempt to kill her in a shopping mall and is on the run. A shipping container from St. Petersburg arrives in port in Spain, containing the corpse of 9 women, all who suffocated. Now Antonia, with the help of her helper and protector, John, must track down the missing Lola, but they aren't the only ones on Lola's trail. A dangerous contract killer known as the Black Wolf is also on her trail, and Antonia Scott, still plagued by her personal demons, must outmaneuver and ultimately face the terrible, mysterious rival. The Black Wolf is getting closer and closer, and Antonia, for the first time in her life, is feeling scared. I really enjoy this one, not quite as much as the first one, but I still give it 4 stars. I think it's really good. This year has been a very 4-star year in my books. But yes, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, we got to know a little bit more about our characters, especially John, more this time. And I will probably continue along with the series as they translate them and release them into English. I do love a thriller. I love translated ones as well. This has helped with my Read Around the World challenge, guys, that I am doing. So I was able to tick off Spain. But yeah, I do recommend to have like a thriller with a bit of a different vibe in a different setting. And yeah, really enjoyed it. Then I picked up The Community by Jamelia Chisholm. This is non-fiction. It is a memoir, so I did not give an overall rating. In case you're new around here, I don't tend to give memoirs ratings unless it was like exceptional, like there was something about it just, I'm like, yeah, that top, and I'll give like 5 stars for the book with those vibes. But I kind of feel like by giving a rating, it kind of feels like I'm rating the personal story, you know, so that's why I try and avoid it unless there is something really stand out about the memoir. So this book is about a family's indoctrination into a religious cult, a daughter coming to terms with her parents' devastating choices, and the trials ahead in post 9/11 New York. So it takes place in 1978 when Jamelia was 2 years old. Her mother, Umi, quit her job, converted to Islam, and with her husband moved into an exclusive Muslim society in Brooklyn. Once inside the community, the family was separated by its powerful and charismatic leader, Dwight York, who was hiding behind the name Imam Isa. Instead of the devotional refuge they imagined, the community was a nightmare of controlled abuse and unspeakable secrets. 40 years later, Jamelia was ready to excavate and understand a past buried in her dreams, discover memories and inexplicable rage. It was a place Umi never wanted to return to. Jamelia had to. Jamelia's emotional memoir tells her family's story of life inside and outside the cult, and of escaping into new challenges as conservative Muslims in the secular Brooklyn that they left behind. And harrowing and deeply personal history fraught with racial tension and devastating personal betrayals of the community is also a hopeful story, bringing with black pride, justice and long overdue healing between a daughter and a mother. I did enjoy reading this one. I found it really interesting. I hadn't heard about the community. I wasn't aware of that religious cult, so it was really interesting reading that and finding out about it. And also, I have read religious cult books before in the past, but never one that is never one where it's Islam that's been the religion in question. So I find that really interesting to read about it and to see also her journey throughout the book, and how she kind of it's going back to explore those long kind of buried memories that she had from her time in there. Then the final book that I finished in April was The Good, the Bad and the Aunties, and this was number 3 in the Auntie series, and it's by Jessie Q. Satano. I was glad to be back with the Aunties again, guys. So was this book needed? No. But did I enjoy it? Yes. So I'm thinking 4.5 stars for this one. The first in the series of the Aunties books was 5-star for me. The second was 4.5. I think I said this is like 4.5. Like I said, it wasn't necessarily needed in terms of, did we need another book from the Aunties? The storyline specifically, no. But I did enjoy it, being back with the Aunties again. Just, I love the Aunties, guys. They're just so hilarious and so funny. And yeah, I did enjoy it from that perspective. There always some sort of disaster is kind of going on with them. So the Auntie series, we follow Medi, is our, like, one of our main characters is Medi. She is the niece and obviously the daughter of one of the aunties. They are 4 sisters, and Medi is actually the only girl. So the other ones have had children, but they've been boys, but Medi's the only girl, so she is the only one that actually stayed behind and kind of helped with the family business, which is like a wedding business. It's like a whole package deal. Medi is the photographer. One of the aunts does like the kind of the wedding planner bits and pieces, you know, like organising it all. One does like the cooking and the cake, and the other one is like makeup, if I remember correctly. So like they have a whole unit, and they're just hilarious. So the aunties are, so they are Indo-Chinese. And Medi's obviously grown up in the US, but the aunties moved obviously over in when they were adults, and it's just kind of, it's great to see how Medi kind of is walking the line between 2 kind of worlds, because she's like American, but also she has her heritage that's Indo-Chinese, and kind of like going along with what her mum and her aunties are saying. They are really close, they are hilarious, they are always meddling and putting their nose in something, but in each of the books there is something that obviously always goes wrong. There is some sort of disaster that they have to try and get out, find someone. You know, in the first one there was like a dead body involved as well, but they're hilarious. I love them. I don't want to say too much to like give away like the story and stuff in the different books, but trust me, you need to read it. I do recommend the audiobooks because it really does bring the aunties alive. Like you get their character and their personality, I think, a lot more. You understand how the author wrote them and the kind of the way that we're supposed to see them, and it's great. I really enjoyed it. It is the last one. She did confirm like at the end, like in the acknowledgements, that it's the last one in the series. She kind of just wanted to write one last one for the aunties, and I don't think she ever imagined that everyone's gonna love them quite as much, but they are amazing. I definitely want to look up and read some of her other books. I did read Vera Wang's the Vera Wang book a couple of years ago. So I hope she just keeps releasing them with those like kind of mystery vibes. And this is the thing with the aunties, the books are like multiple different genres. Like, you know, you could have like a murder mystery vibes, you know, humor because it is hilarious, this a little bit of romance at times as well. So it's just really great. I love them, really enjoyed it. And that's it. That is all the books I read in April, guys. I just need to actually edit this video and get it up to you, get it up on the channel, which I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna do, promise. Like I said, I'm gonna be back at it. There's gonna be a bit of like of a little book haul coming your way. I am gonna be going away on holiday, so whilst I've not had like a May TBR, I'm gonna have like do a video of like my holiday TBR of books I'm gonna be taking on holiday, hopefully reading. And yes, those are like the next few book videos that I've planned. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books, or if there's any types of video you want to see me film and put up on the channel. But thank you so much, guys, for watching and bearing with me while I took my accidental break from booktube. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye! That doesn't make sense. I have forgotten how to do my intro, guys. I have forgotten. Wow.